So, one of the things y'all are doing here is starting a community. But what happens when it's your time to step away from the community? How do you ensure success for your new lead? How do you ensure that your community still thrives, even though you're not the one holding the reins? This is Deepak. He's actually one of the people who started the DSC program, and he's going to talk about succession, planning for it, and helping drive with personal vision and stated program vision. So please welcome Deepak.
Hi all, good morning. I had a chance to chat with some of you over yesterday and day before. Firstly, let me actually take a step back and start with what a privilege this is to welcome the very first batch of DSC leads in the United States. Sorry, I just realized I didn't make it sound very exciting, but do give it up for yourselves for having been selected as the first batch of the DSC leads in the United States. Know that you're going to be forever known as the first batch of DSC leads, the first batch of a specific program, launched in a specific country, right? And that's going to be one of the biggest legacies that you will always carry for the rest of your lives. I'm going to be talking for the next couple of minutes on why is it that you have to think about succession. And let me say that what I have to share with you is my thoughts and why I think it has to be this way. However, it is very largely centered on you. It's extremely centered on you because you are the ones in the hot seat and driving this particular program on your campus and making it happen. So for the next couple of minutes, position this entire thing around you. What matters to you? Why are things important to you? And you, right? So we have been talking the past 1.5 days. It has been very community-centric, right? I was going to spend a little bit of time to also touch on some of the mechanics of the program, but then I realized during the conversations that most of the mechanics is something that most of you already know, right? And so I'm not going to worry about it as much. So we're going to take a few steps back, right? And we're going to go to almost a 30,000 or a 50,000 feet view, and then center this around you to begin with. So one of the very, very, very important questions is why should it matter at a high level, and why should it actually matter to you? Right. So let me do pause and see if there's any quick responses from the team. And a good question to actually ask you here is why did you become a DSC lead? And you can shout out in the interest of time so that we're going to move fast. Make an impact, okay? Strengthen your CS program. Okay. Build a community. Okay. Solve problems. Okay. Change your communities. Okay. Sorry? Teach others. Okay. Okay. So hear yourselves. What you're talking about is the what of things. What is it that you're going to be doing? You're going to be impacting communities. You're going to be teaching others. You're looking at building communities. That all still goes to the what. What is it that you're doing? That's not what I asked. Why did you become a DSC lead? To leave behind a legacy. Okay? Why? Why does it matter to you that there has to be a legacy? A sense of self-worth. Okay, we're getting somewhere. All right. Yeah? To provide the infrastructure to move forward towards greater things. That's a why for you. Okay. Okay. All right. To stand out. Why do you want to stand out? Don't answer for me, but this is something that I do want you to ponder over. Why do you want to stand out? Why Is a sense of self-worth important to someone else? Shows me good enough or you good enough for you? Okay. Yes. 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 And that's the part about the legacy. Yeah. Yes. Because you care about your peers. Okay? To be part of something great. Okay? Why do you want to be a part of something great? So that it can benefit others. But why do you want to benefit others? In them growing, you're going to build a stronger technical community. Okay, all right. Yes. So you're going to have a bunch of swags to show off. Right. So the association with Google and the identity that it actually is going to bring you. Not actually, okay? Right. It's the reputation, the branding, and everything, and how that's going to help you for your identity and branding. Okay, the last one.
I'm doing this to show Google that I'm a leader.
To show Google that you are a leader.
To show Google my leadership skills.
Okay.
I would like to work for Google one day, so I feel
Okay.
like this is the best job interview that I can possibly have.
Okay.
Show them how successful I can be using a component of their own company
Okay.
and running it with my own vision, and hopefully use that to get in the door.
Okay. So those of you who didn't hear, it is to his response is that it's a way for making sure that you get your foot in the door and being able to like showcase your skills for a job at Google. Right, okay, the very last one. To help people. Okay. 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 So amongst all your answers, there were two, right? And that I do want to call out and say, are super honest when it comes to what's in it for you. And it's not that the others were not honest enough, but when it actually goes into the personal benefit and how is it that you can articulate as to why it matters is an extremely fundamental thing that one needs to answer for themselves for explaining your association with anything that you actually do, right? So for a lot of people, right, whether it is actually joining a student club, whether it's joining a job, the branding, the association, the identity, the leg up, the portfolio strengthening, and all of that that's going to bring tends to be strong motivations, right? Now, in the longer scheme of things, right, and there was a question yesterday also about why is it that some student clubs actually fizzle out, right? Is because on a campus, you have so many different opportunities available that priorities can change, right? So priorities can change, opportunities can change, the value of opportunities can change, new opportunities are going to emerge, and there's a whole lot of things that's going to go on there, and which is why things can fizzle out, right? So the whole mechanics and the operations and the technical bits here, right? And what is it that it's actually going to bring you are very, very important as well. At the end of the day, you are the person who has actually started this particular program and set it going. Yeah.
I just wanted to say a answer to why.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, watching the world change as a result of your actions, even on a very small scale, and then keep ramping up, is priceless. So, for me personally, if I bring about change in the community as a result of my actions,
Okay. So he said being able to bring about that particular change in the community and you being at the center of it,
no, not me. I mean, not me being the center of it, but like
making it happen.
all of my actions kind of like feedback.
Okay. Okay. I do want you to think about it. All right. In the interest of time, we're just going to move ahead on this. Um, sorry, I lost track of where I was. But yeah, so So most of the mechanics of the program and what it's going to bring to you is straightforward. Most of you are already aware and what's at stake, right? And bear in mind that one of the biggest practicalities and the implications of your association with this particular program and the biggest benefit that it's going to come to you is in a lot of your job interviews. And I have seen this in the past with the Google Student Ambassador program. A lot of job interviews, 45 minutes was fully about their experience as a GSA and what you put about what you did on the resume. It's a fantastic speaking point for the interviewer, and they go in depth. They go into how you did it. How did you manage conflicts? How did you manage relationships? How did you look at reporting? How did you track metrics? It's an opportunity for them to look and talk about something very feasible, and a lot of them are very curious about it. You need to have some stories to talk about, right? You need to have strong data points at the end of the day to be able to communicate to them, which means you got to do stuff, right? So all of this is going to happen, but why do you have to do it then becomes extremely important to answer, and for which we need to go into the fundamentals, right? It's a very, at the most fundamental level of why is it that I have to do what I want to do. Your association with the DSC program and you being the very first batch, to me, when I think of an analogy, is like a relay, right? Ignore the race part. There's actually not a race part here, but it is a relay, and you have the biggest responsibility of being the very first set of people who's going to take off. The speed at which you move, the pace at which you move, the tone that you set, the message that you showcase, and hence the baton that you pass on to the next set of people is going to drive the success of this, right? There's a large part of this which is your responsibility. There's some part of it which you cannot control either, because you're not still in the seat the year after or the year after, and that's fine. You cannot control that. However, what you can control is the message that you're going to seed as you actually kickstart the program. As you ask yourself why, one of the most important things to, and the ways of looking at it, is get rid of the boundary around the why. When you think about the why, a lot of the times we think about and we lead from constraints and hooks that is holding on to us, which is what we need to shed, right? The why should not come from, oh, I might have a problem getting permission from my department head, my dean, whosoever it is, and having to actually prove this particular value, because of which, I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to think along those lines. Ignore all the hooks. Focus on why is it that you want to do this, and start from there, and the rest will actually, come into play. I'm going to play a short video. How many of you have already seen this video of Simon Sinek? You already are. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up. This is something that I do watch regularly, as a means of re-emphasizing some key points.
Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do, 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out.
So, exploring the why is a forever journey for a lot of people. There are some who start off with extreme sense of clarity, and those are very fortunate in my opinion. So don't be too hard on yourself as you explore the why, right? And one of the key principles of thinking about the why is honesty and integrity, not for the sake of others, but for your own sake. And why does this actually matter to you? I I'm not the best speaker, and which is why I brought in Simon Sinek to actually talk about this. Um, um, so think from a hard place of personal integrity as you think about this. So along with you, when you're a lead, one of the hats that I do want you to wear is that of an architect, right? And what does that actually mean, right? Now imagine your campus as a large space, a space where there are no hooks. Forget the constraints that's in place. Ignore all the constraints. You know why is it that you're doing what you're doing, right? And here is where start with the program mission. You know what the vision and the mission of the program is, right? You're going to start from there. Start with your own vision and mission. Put it out there. And what can be very interesting is your personal vision and what is it that you want to do, and rather why is it that you want to do it, can be a subset of the specific mission that we have in place for the program, or it can actually encompass and envelop the broader program mission itself. The program can be a part of what is it that you want to do and why is it that you want to do, right? And this is quite a bit of an exploration that you simply need to do with a piece of pen and paper. But as you do it, and being the very first batch of DSC leads, one of your first things that you have to do is lay a strong foundation, right? Your job is you're going to build that first floor of a building. Make sure that the foundation is deep and the building is strong, right? And it's probably just going to be in one part of this entire amazing, beautiful campus that you actually have, just one part, right? Recognize that with succession and over the next couple of years, it's going to evolve. But that first building that you have built sets the tone and sets the character of this entire space. What a privilege it is. In reality, it's not as green of a space, and there are a lot of constraints, right? I pulled an image from Indiana University where I went to grad school, right? There are lots of players and lots of characters already there. And one key successful element is recognize them, but let them not hold you back and let them not pull you back as you put together the plan. And why I want you to start donning the hat of an architect. And that's what it is. One of the mechanical and operational elements that's super important to build this and to take this further, Danny, I might go over by 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, thanks. Is to build a fantastic core team, right? Your plan is set, you have begun to visualize the space around you. Got to make it happen, right? It's a collaboration effort. It's a collaborative effort. And a team is super critical. Now, as you put the team together, right, competencies, the type of skills, the type of ambitions, how good they are, right, all of that actually is fine. But there's a very fundamental thing that's important to strike good relationships, which is values. Are you putting together a team of people that's aligned on the value system, right? The sense of integrity, simple things such as sense of timeliness, sense of respect, sense of mutual respect, right? So there's a lot of values that's going to be driving this. And I'm not going to give you, I'm not here to share with you my set of values, but this is about you and your set of values. So one of the most critical things is as you put together a team, and as you identify a team, and as you sit together, discuss the type of values that you're going to be having, right? And be aligned. If there's a mismatch of values, that's not the composition of a team that you want to have. Last bit is experiences, right? What you're going to call events as part of what you do as the DSC, right? Different types of activities. Let me rephrase, with the hat of an architect, and which is design experiences, right? Each and every one of your campuses is a unique ecosystem in itself. As you're going to look around, as stories from around the community are going to surface from around the world, right? Let that be a guide, but let that not necessarily be what you have to aspire for, because your campus can be different, or your campus might be different, But what is it that you can actually learn from others is an absolutely essential lens to have, no doubt. Right? But recognize that your own campus is unique. Your accomplishments and your campus accomplishments are unique to your own campus. Don't compare. You're not in a race with another campus. Stick to your campus and stick to the uniqueness of your campus. This is absolutely essential for you to be very successful as a DSC lead and for this to succeed over the next couple of years. And I'm saying this here with a great degree of confidence of having seen these over the past 6 years in my community management experience. Which means that as you think about all of this for your own campus, design experiences and design for the space that you're in and design for what matters to you and for what matters to the community. I would like to leave you with a thought as you are going to embark on this particular journey, and a question that you need to answer for yourself, not to anyone else, but to yourself, of what's my legacy? What is my legacy at the end of this particular journey? A way of thinking about is fast forward a year from now, fast forward 12 months from now, and as you're going to look back, what do you want to say to yourself? What's my legacy? Thank you.